Toqir Space, and today I want to talk about the journey that I'm going through learning Japanese. I was recently traveling in Amsterdam and nearby in the city where I live, and I was just kind of like wondering and thinking about the way how I can accelerate my process of learning, and I came up with some points that I want to share with you. The number one point is when you start learning a language is, of course, you have to learn the basics. For example, at my experience that I had with learning Japanese, learning hiragana, katakana, and kanji is quite. Of course, it takes time. It's quite challenging, but if you're really interested, then you kind of like have this spirit learning. We will learn a lot faster. And of course, I had it in the beginning when I started it in the university, and it was quite not stressful, but it was not easy learning those three alphabets, you can say, in Japanese. The very first thing that I want to mention is learning a language. Of course, what I found out is using flashcards. For example, the app Anki makes it a much easier for you to learn a new language, and that's kind of like different kind of decks you can download for get at least, let's say, 3,000 words of basic language knowledge in your mind, so you can have kind of like a normal conversation with a Japanese native without thinking for every second what kind of word I can use. And this is currently as well a big struggle that I'm facing, that I have to learn a lot of words, especially when you're not living in the country. You have to learn a lot of things, and I think that's a kind of like a process or thing that is still gonna take some time for me, but I would be really happy to share with you my process over the couple of months or even years to see how this kind of strategy worked out for me. So to summarize it up, Anki is a quite useful app, or the flashcard system, you can say. The second point I would highly recommend is, of course, reading books, listening to music, watching movies, or even setting your own phone up to Japanese language. To just surround yourself with every kind of Japanese thing you can think of, and of course there's always another possibility to talk with native Japanese people, and there's kind of like an app, a tandem app you can use to get in touch with Japanese people, and I think that will make you a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident when you're trying to speak Japanese. And last but not least, of course, you have to enjoy the whole journey. Learning a language should never be a thing that you should feel pressured to do certain things. Yeah, let's say just certain things in a time pace when you have to learn. I think the best way is when you kind of like can create for yourself a path or a journey where you can enjoy learning. And of course, everyone learns kind of like differently, but one thing that is, I think, for everyone very important is to repeat the things and repeat everything what you've learned. And I would be quite interested what would be for you the, let's say, the number one, or kind of like a tip for everyone else. What is the thing that you figure out for yourself that learning language might accelerate it? And please let me know, write it down in the comments, and I'm really thankful for your feedback. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you to my next video.